with your host, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items, there are bananas everywhere. I mean, it's like you're losing your balloons because you're slipping on bananas left and right. Bananas everywhere. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube and X. I am your host, Andrew Romanella. We got you for the next 30 or so, and we have a National Football League show for the people. So much going on in the NFL as we trend towards the start of the regular season. Just 2 weeks away from today. It is Thursday, August 21st, and 2 weeks from today, we will be breaking down the first game of the National Football League regular season. So much to get into. Just got to remind you that you go to youtube.com/12OZ Sports so you can comment live on the show if you got some thoughts, questions, concerns, or simply just want to have your voice heard. If you go to Twitter or X, depending on what generation you're in, The Rome Show 1, Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok. If you see something in the bottom left-hand corner and it says The Romanellas, you need to subscribe. That's the YouTube channel, okay? And starting September 2nd, we've been making this note for about a week now, and we'll keep making this note until it changes over. Starting September 2nd, you will be able to stream The Rome Show live on the Romanellas YouTube channel or Facebook.com or Twitter/X.com and all of the places you've already been following the show. So a little bit of a change to the Rome Show from the standpoint of where, but what the Rome Show is, who is talking on the microphone, are all going to stay the same, including something we haven't seen in a minute, our favorite weekly co-host, who we're going to bring on right now, the one and only Rocky Romanella, for a little Rockies rundowns. Though the sounder says hockey. Now, inside the glass, hockey with Rocky.
Oh, yeehaw, everyone. Time for the roundup. We are actually a few short weeks away from Hockey with Rocky returning, but happy to be here. What's up?
It's kind of crazy because that is a perspective that I forget about. I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready for football season. We're getting ready for Major League Baseball playoffs. But the fact of the matter is, we are what feels like as close to basketball and hockey starting as much as we are football. And I feel like, Rock, how the hell do we get here? It's crazy how quick it goes.
Listen, you're getting into the best time of year. You're going to have 4 major sports playing together. I think you'll throw in the MLS playoffs actually into that. You could throw the NASCAR playoffs into that, right?
WNBA.
I think golf is finishing up.
Yeah, you're right though. It's the Ryder Cup coming up soon too.
Yeah, big deal. Scotty Scheffler. Let's go.
Scotty Scheffler is on a Tiger Woods type tear. So I have a lot in the football department for the people today, but we are going to give the floor to Rocky to start for anything that he's got for the people. And at some point today, just so everyone's aware, I've been telling people this is going to happen. Okay. We're getting Rocky's opinion on the New York Football Giants because I think this is the best place the New York Football Giants have been in roughly 4 to 5 years. Again, this is a non-fan looking from a non-fan perspective, but everyone that's been saying, where's your brother been? Where's your brother been? I'm like, listen, when he gets back, there's one question we're asking him, and it's about the New York Football Giants. So, Rocky, the floor is yours to start wherever you'd like. Just understand, we're putting you on the spot today before you leave.
I like it. And I don't know if that's a good thing that I have a reputation about going off on the Giants. So
Giants, Rangers, Mets. I mean, it's a good reputation to have.
Well, we'll start with baseball. Because I had a chance to watch. I think I watched a full Little League World Series elimination game the other night, and it was just fantastic. This kid with his last name like Snooze, like he like puts you to sleep, but he threw an absolute gem. He struck out like 8 kids in a row. Incredible demeanor. Got himself in a bases loaded jam in the fifth and got himself out of it with a strikeout. It was electric. So you've got the U.S. Championship and the International Championship on Saturday, with the overall Little League World Series Championship on Sunday. So a heads up, that's my first rundown.
And by the way, I think the team from Connecticut, Rocky, is in that USA Championship.
That's Metro, right?
Yeah, that is the Metro.
Yeah, Metro's
team.
in. Metro's
in.
They beat the Mountains. They beat Mountain last night 7-3.
It's kind of funny how they decide to name like the regions, but then you go to the international and it's just like Cuba, or it's just like,
well, like it's tough because like Asia Pacific has, I mean, Asia Pacific could be its own Little League World Series, but then they're going to go play Japan, which is also in the Asia Pacific, but Japan, I guess, has that many more players where they can have their own country be represented.
It is. I think the Little League World Series, and we talked about this a little bit last week while you were away, Rocky, but it's like a crazy 2 weeks because you almost can't believe that you're watching 10, 11, and 12-year-olds, but then they remind you when they freak out or they cry or whatever that it's youth. And when you kind of break it down, Rocky, it's insanely impressive. Like they're playing in front of millions of people on television and thousands in person, and these kids are 10, 11, and 12 years old. So it's really cool.
Yet everyone who walked up to the plate the other night was 5'9", and I'm like, dude, these kids are bigger than me. Like, I don't get it. Where are we breeding them from? Why are they so tall? Can I get 5'2"? Like,
yeah.
maybe?
Why are they not in the state of New Jersey so I can recruit them? That's great. Well, by the time we get back next week, Rock will have a Little League champion. And last year, the crown went to the United States division, but it has been one of those scenarios where there's been never, ever a country, a state, an area of this world that has dominated in Little League Baseball, or honestly, in regular baseball for that matter. I made that point about Major League Baseball the other day, Rocky. So much parity in Major League Baseball right now. It's made the season that much more fun.
It has made the season fun, and that's actually rundown number 2 for me, and that is the New York Mets need to avoid the play-in. Whatever it's not really a
wild card 3. I get what you're saying,
but they need to avoid it. And they're 6.5 behind the Phillies and 5.5 behind the Cubs. And if they can close the gap on just one of those people, right, they'll be in a better position. But I would love for them to catch the Phillies because I think in a shorter series, they're based on their hitting with men in scoring position. It makes me nervous to get out of that first round.
Here is your current standings in the National League. The Cubbies at 73 and 54, 5.5 games up on the Mets, who are the third wild card, and only 2 games up on the Padres, who are 71 and 56 and the second wild card. So, Rock, the first track for the Mets would be cover that 3.5 games from the Padres to get you back into wild card spot number 2. And then from there, to your point, you either have, can you overtake the Cubs? Can you get a little bit closer to the Phillies, or are we just really talking about just getting into the postseason? That skid, though, killed them.
It did. But if you can, you got to get hot because you're going to play the Phillies one more time.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got, like, you have a chance. So I think I'd love to see the Mets and even if they fall short, I feel more confident about that first round than if they go in where they're at right now.
Here is the remaining Mets schedule. They got one more against Washington. They need to win this series. Lost last night 5-4, won the first game 8-1. Then they got 3 versus Atlanta, who, Rock, back in the day, you'd worry about. Now you should be better than that team. 3 versus Philly, 4 versus Miami, 3 versus Detroit, 3 versus Cincy, who's a game behind them for that third wild card spot. Then 4 more with Philly, 3 with Texas. 2. You're playing good teams the rest of the way. You don't really have a break, and including in that is 10 games, 13 games against teams that are in this fight with you, which is a very difficult proposition.
Dude, 7 versus Philly, 3 versus San Diego, 3 versus Chicago. those series are they're critical. You got to win those games. And then
Huge.
you've got to win this. You've got to, you can't even take 2 out of 1 from Washington and Miami. You got to sweep those guys.
I agree. You're at the point now that 2 for 14 stretch, Rocky, was so detrimental to their season that you can no longer say to yourself, oh, let's win 2 here, then let's win another 2 here. It's like, no, you got to kind of go on a 5-game winning streak. And then if you lose, like they coming off of 4 straight wins to their loss last night, or 3 straight, they got to just keep doing that again. You've lost the opportunity to just win 2 out of 3 and feel comfortable about yourself.
No doubt. So that's my Mets rundown. My third rundown is the NASCAR schedule for 2026 came out the other day. Highlighted race, San Diego Naval Base at Coronado added to
So
the
cool.
schedule. So that's going to be crazy. No one knows what that's going to look like. They took the Chicago race off, went back to a track in Chicago. We moved Watkins Glen from August to May. Miami returns as a championship race, and the championship race is no longer in Phoenix. It's going back to, I think, Charlotte or something like that. So there you go. There's some NASCAR rundown for you.
Before we get to our commercial break and then flip it to the backside on football, is there a reason for that? I mean, personally, I went to Watkins Glen 2 years ago in August, and hearing it's in May is even better for my schedule. But what was the purpose here? Like a fan engagement, or what they see from viewership? Like, what's up?
No, they wanted to give a playoff race to someone else. And
Like the area?
the way the playoff races went, where they wanted playoff races to be, and then where they wanted and the way like certain like specific races were shaking out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. You never think about that much going into NASCAR because it's such a simple sport by nature of what you're watching, but it is, if not bigger than a lot of these sports that you and I spend most of our time talking about. So if you really look at it, the last 10 years of NASCAR, the amount of change the sport has gone through. But in my opinion, Rock, and it's not just because you're doing the roundup, yeehaw, it's more or less because they have, like hockey and some others, really done a better job of promoting their sport. So it only makes sense they're going to keep making changes.
Nice. And no doubt. And my fourth rundown was the Giants. So if you want that now.
Let's do this. We're going to tease the people because Rocky's got to get out of here by 7:30. So we only got like 7 total minutes left of him, including the commercial break. So here, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. We are going to come back from the commercial break, and it is Rocky's Romanella's rundown on the New York Football Giants. And you do not want to miss this on the Rome Show. 12ouncesports.com. Back after this.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
We are back. We are back.
We are back. Yeah. Welcome back to the Rome Show. Currently on 12ouncesports.com. Gotta subscribe to the Romanellas on YouTube so you can get a new iteration of the show starting September 2nd. Here with Rocky Romanella. Rocky's Rundown, just a weekly segment that forms, or I should say transforms, into Hockey with Rocky once hockey season starts. Nonetheless, follow the show, The Rome Show, on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok, The Rome Show Podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search The Rome Show Podcast. Rocky, we told the people before the break you would give us your honest feeling on the New York Football Giants. Floor is yours. Let's do it.
Beautiful. I will preface my Giants rundown by saying I have actually tried to pay minimal attention to the New York Giants. because preseason is easily zero indication of what's going to happen in the regular season. I have historical references on terrible preseasons, great preseasons, terrible seasons. So I will start by that. I have paid attention to
Oh,
some of
fair.
the storylines. Like I was nervous when Neighbors had to go out. I was nervous when Scadaboo got hurt, Thomas, but they're coming back, which I'm good. So I've got my very, very basics, right? Jameis is on the Eli Manning show, which we're pumped about. So like I've got my basics. I have done two things with the New York Football Giants, and that is on X. I have watched every single play that Jackson Dart has performed in the
Great.
preseason.
That is great.
I watched every snap of Jackson Dart from the first game.
Awesome
I watched
handoff
every
the ball.
snap. I've watched every snap of Jackson Dart from the second game. So as I say, I've paid minimal attention to the Giants. My excitement level on Jackson Dart is
High
so high.
through the
I'm
roof.
like,
I
this
don't
guy
blame
looks
you though.
this guy looks awesome. He looks smooth. He looks comfortable. I've seen him make plays that I didn't think the Giants offense was capable of already.
Right.
Dump offs, like screen plays where we let the defensive line rush and he throws a little ball up top.
Oh, you were supposed to do that. Oh, awesome.
I'm telling you, I saw an offense, and so, but obviously, I'm not excited. It's the preseason. He's not starting.
It's
Not excited at all. So that's where I'm at with the Giants right now.
So let me ask you this question. So if you go through a full year where Russell Wilson is your starting quarterback and the team competes, because I think their defense is actually going to be way better than it has been in the last few years. Are you okay with that? Or is there a feeling where you want an Eli Manning, Kurt Warner situation here where it's like Tom Coughlin, those that don't remember, made a really tough decision when that team was fighting for a playoff spot with Kurt Warner as their quarterback to put Eli Manning in. The Giants didn't make the playoffs that year, but they won 2 Super Bowls over the next 15 years.
Were
Is
we
that
fighting
what's
for a
wrong?
playoff spot? Were we fighting for a playoff spot 6 games in?
I think they were 3-3 or 4. It was like 4-4, 3-3, 3-4. It was in that area. And that's playoffs in the National Football League 7 weeks in.
If Jackson Dart does not play this year, it will be a great thing for the Giants
All
because
right.
we'll be winning.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, right?
Winning above all else is, by the way, what better way for Jackson Dart to learn than from a winning team?
Correct.
So
That's a good point.
he's going to see what works, right? I think, listen, I can't sit here and in my past life say I love it when a quarterback sits, right? And then watch the guy that I love that we drafted sit and not be upset about it.
That's a really
So-
good point. And I think the problem is, and hopefully you don't have a head coach and a general manager, which it doesn't seem like you do, though they've made some bad decisions in the last 3 years, that get on the hype train. Like you didn't sign Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Like take Jackson Dart out of it for a second. You knew you were bringing both those guys in because you didn't want somebody else to start the entirety of the year. And if you were to draft them, you wanted them to learn. So the only thing that scares me, Rocky, is they get a little overzealous. Either way, Giants are 3-5. It's like, I don't know. Let's just play the young kid. And it's like, ooh, was it too early? Or vice versa. It's like, oh, all right. Giants are 6-3, 7-2. We haven't been this good. Let's re-sign Russell Wilson. It's like, I don't know if that's the move either. You know?
No, I don't need to re-sign him, but
Right.
you do what you did, and then if you re-sign him, he can be re-signed as the backup to Jackson Dart because unless you win the Super Bowl, right, Jackson Dart's going to be your starter.
I agree with that. No matter what, going into 2026, that's what you're saying, right?
You also have the toughest schedule in the league,
Yeah.
so
You have it's really 5-4. The Giants were 5-4 when Kurt Warner was removed from. And how about this parallel? I don't know if this is true, Rocky, but I just read it. Oh, Rocky and Rocky. I don't know if this is true, but I just saw that Kurt Warner had 210 consecutive starts before Eli Manning. So Eli Manning, Kurt Warnered him, and then Eli Manning,
You're different.
Smith.
Different. If you look they're so different because if you go and look at Kurt Warner's career, he historically was actually always overlooked. So he was actually always into the year as a backup. Someone would get hurt and he would start, and then he'd be Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
And that happened like twice in his career, actually. I think once with the Rams and once with the Cardinals.
Yep.
I think the greatest
Palmer.
show on turf
Carson
here.
Palmer.
The greatest show on turf here. I want to say he came to camp as the backup.
He came to camp as the backup or Rocky. It might have actually been the third string because there's a documentary on this.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so because I love Kurt Warner and he's awesome. But listen, if Jackson Dart is in, it's because something's not working. It's not going to be because something's going well. I don't think it makes sense. Like if you go, like it would be annoying if they went into the year. This is like a pitch count thing or like a snap count thing for running backs. We're like, oh, you're only allowed to take 35 snaps. Doesn't matter where we are at in the game. Like if they did that to Jackson Dart, like on game 7, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, right.
Because you're throwing off the whole flow of the team.
Correct. And again,
I need the Giants to win games.
Yeah, I agree. See, that's my biggest thing. I feel that way. Like I've been doing 32 teams in 32 days. And by the way, once Rocky's finished with his roundup, we'll hit the Green Bay Packers in the NFC North. And one thing I've been realizing is what you just said right there. We just need to win games. Like we're breaking down this franchise. We added D tackles. We added quarterbacks. It's like, can we add like victories? Let's get there. And then sign a quarterback for the next 100 years, you know?
Dude, go win me games. That's it. Win me games, and I'm happy. So I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic about the New York Giants. I feel like a Mets fan with the Giants right now, where I'm like, this is the year, and I'm just like trying to avoid the disappointment. So let's
here's what we're gonna do. And I know you got to get out of here. We're going to do this. When we do the 32 and 32 next week with the New York Giants, you're on the rundown with us that day.
All right. So we'll plan the day so I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Good deal.
That's exciting.
And you're by the way, we've got flag football practice number 2 tonight.
All right.
I've been recruited as an assistant coach. So
congratulations. Wow, this is exciting. Now we're going to get flag football roundups. That's electric.
Yeah. Yeah, so we practiced pulling flags and handoffs the other day because it's dead ball if you drop the ball in a handoff. So like other guys were like, dude, we gave up so many downs just because we can't
hand the ball.
Yeah. Hilarious. So our strategy is being great at pulling flags and being great at handoffs. And I think we're going to take the league. Oh,
we're going to dominate. That's awesome. That's right. Keep your head down, Rocco. Run straight. All right. That's it. Run straight.
Yeehaw, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeehaw. Rocky's rundown, everyone. Thank you for your time. That was a blast. We love when the Rockies join the show. Quick commercial break. We come back to finish the show with 32 in 32, the Green Bay Packers. Plus, I got some other stories for you too that we'll run down real quick if we got time. The Rome Show, back after this.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them. Yeah. Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right. At 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Romanella is on YouTube. All right. Because on September 2nd, the Rome Show will change its home location to the Romanella's on YouTube, the Rome Show 1 on X and on Facebook. I don't want you to miss it because we've been having a lot of fun growing this thing recently, and I want that to keep going. So you got to subscribe to the Romanella's on YouTube. It is time for your 32 teams in 32 days with the Green Bay Packers. Hit the music. All right, here we go. The Green Bay Packers, NFC North. A good little rundown for you here. I arguably, by the way, to get this thing started, believe that the NFC North could be the best division in football, at least returning from 2024. Kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what this division looked like last year. The Detroit Lions won it at 15-2. The Minnesota Vikings came in second at 14-3. And then you have, oh man, the third place team, the Green Bay Packers, at 11-6. Okay? And so when you break down the numbers, it's no fluke either. Okay? Now there's some information we have here that might give you a less of a feel on the Green Bay Packers going into next season and how good they might be. But when you break it down, this was a top 10 defense in a lot of categories and a top 10 offense in a lot of categories, led by Jordan Love. So for Matt LaFleur and this team, in a simply put statement, they are coming back expecting to be a playoff team because they believe, and they do, have the weapons to do that. Let's break it down a little bit. So returning for this offense in 2024, last year they scored 27 points per game. They had a total of 378.5 yards per game, and they ran for 146.8 yards per game. That's 8th, 5th, and 5th in the league. On top of that, okay, they were third in yards per play, gaining nearly 6.1 yards per every single year play, and 5th in rushing yards per play at 4.7. So look no further than the offensive line and the running game, because clearly last year, the offensive line and the running game were a huge strength for this team, led by Aaron Jones and a offensive line that is played together. So that right there is the first thing that Green Bay needs to do. Got to establish the running game. And can you create a passing game? Because Jordan Love has proven, though the injury bug can't hurt, it has to get away. He's got to stay healthy. Jordan Love has proven, though, he's a good enough quarterback in this league to lead this team through the air, especially with a complimentary round game. So that's number one. Number two is, who's your top receiver? Okay? Because if you're So there's a lot the Green Bay Packers are going to have to do if they want to be a really good football team. Here's my prediction for Green Bay. I have the Packers at 9-8 this season. Okay, a drop down from 11-6 last year because of all the things we just talked about. Who's your top wide receiver? Where's your tight end production coming from? Can your defense, more specifically your defensive line, be as top 10 worthy? Can you turn the ball over as top 10 worthy as you did last year? And how do you handle the hard schedule? Because you are going to play way better quarterbacks than you played consistently last year. You're going to play way better teams than you played consistently last year. Can you get through that and find yourself on the other side in the postseason? We will find out soon with the Packers. Just want to run through this real fast before we end. Few trades yesterday. Devon Vele, the wide receiver on the Saints, was traded to the Broncos for a few picks in 2027 and 2026. Last year, Vele had 41 receptions, 475 yards, and 3 TDs. He was a 2024 seventh rounder. The Jets made 2 moves yesterday. Harrison Phillips and Jawan Briggs, both defensive tackles, both on the New York Jetropolitans right now. Harrison Phillips, quite possibly the bigger of the two names. 56 tackles last year with Minnesota, 16 solo, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery in his 96 career games played between Minnesota and Buffalo. He's got 314 total tackles. Not a menace, but a good add to their defensive line. Jawan Briggs, he comes from Cleveland. He's only played in 6 games last year with and 13 total tackles. 113 total career tackles and 3 total solo tackles. So not a lot of experience there, but an add to the Jets. And finally, Demarcus Robinson has been suspended 3 games for the San Francisco 49ers, which means they're already depleted wide receiver room. Brandon Ayuk going to miss the first game or 2 because ACL, MCL thing. Juwan Jennings hurt and in a contract dispute. And then Jordan Watkins has a high ankle sprain. So I don't know, outside of George Kittle, who Brock Purdy's throwing the football to, but a very not good and very depleted wide receiver room right now for the San Francisco Giants. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the